Please stand and give the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Are there any additions or modifications to the agenda? I have a couple. I think I have them. Let's get those in place here, and then we'll talk to others. Roxy from Jim's Mille Lacs is here. We're gonna discuss pricing. Apparently, some major changes have happened to the pricing for cleanup day. I want to put her right under the sheriff's report because she's got other things she's got to do. Under the consent agenda, the first bullet point, approve escrow refund, whatever, for North Country Goldens, that will be removed on the agenda. On that, under planning items, letter D, discuss ordinances, and these are gambling fees. Mr. Rush. Let's see here. And then under new business, letter C, would be discuss, approve, disapproval, proposal from our auditors. And this has to do with the family paid medical leave. Auditors actually looking at this was from Curry and Rupee. Oh, no, this is from our auditors looking at making sure that it fits into our Banyan payroll software correctly. And then letter D, I think Al wanted to set up a meeting with the city engineers. Got that on here. And then I have letter E, I want to discuss, approve, disapprove, continuing to fly the old Minnesota flag. We have not changed it, and I want to have a discussion about that at that point. Is there anything else? Mr. Walker, do you have anything to add?
No, that would be it.
Mr. Rush?
I think you got it all.
Mr. Lick? Further?
I'd like to add something to new business about having agenda packet items in by noon on Monday to help the clerks out, because we're getting it all different times, and then they have to readjust the agendas, the packets all the time, so we can have a deadline by noon on Monday for the Wednesday meeting. If you have something that needs to be printed or whatever, that they can have the packet prepared and have everything in. Otherwise, if it comes in after noon, to look at it. We'll talk about that.
Let's discuss it at the time. Okay, anything else? All right, I need a motion to approve the agenda as amended. Second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Treasurer's report.
For the month of March, we have a beginning balance of $1,314,454.36. Receipts of $5,395. Disbursements of $32,108.11, leaving an unaudited ending balance of $1,287,741.25. Also included on your table, and it is in the agenda packet in the back, is a budget report. So this, if you will bring it with you, it also includes what percentage we're at on each fund. So if you guys want to review that, we'll try to do that quarterly just so we can stay within the budget.
Treasurer? Hearing none. Sheriff's report. Oh, welcome.
All right, good evening. For the month of February, the Sheriff's Office handled 195 calls for service in Baldwin. There were 7 motor vehicle accidents. There was 1 aircraft emergency landing. No injuries, anything like that happened. There were 4 fire calls we assisted on, 18 medical calls, 60 traffic stops were conducted, 26 additional patrols for the public, and there were 2 thefts that were reported, no burglaries. The thefts consisted of a generator where the victim knew who the suspect was, and then a wallet was taken from a vehicle, and there's a suspect lead on that. So both those have suspects. So we should be able to follow up bring those to closure. Any issues, questions, concerns?
Not for me. Anything over the last month that you've seen that would cause you any concerns that we may need to know about? Just overall?
No, nothing new. The thing that is still popping up is dogs barking. So
We're working on that.
that's not,
According to
that's
the
not
county
new.
attorney, we're this close, so we're
Okay.
like right ready.
All right, other than that, no, there's no issues or concerns going on. We haven't noticed any, as the report shows, no crime pattern, anything like that we need to alert the public. We're doing well in Baldwin. Yep.
Excellent.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to thank the Sheriff's Department for assisting the fire chief from being stuck out in that field when that airplane landed out in the cornfield.
Sure.
A little slick in the fire chief got stuck and the sheriff's department helped.
Department
And it's not like we would take pictures of that and bring them up.
Nobody got pictures?
Hey, at least I admitted it. At least I admitted it.
Somebody's gotta have some evidence, pictures.
Absolutely. Anything else?
Anybody else? Anybody have questions for that?
All right. Have a good evening.
Okay, next we have, Roxy, Jim's Mille Lacs disposal. Hello, quite the changes apparently.
Yes, good evening, everybody. We did see a significant increase in our tire disposal this year. Went up by 35%. And we did not find this out until we brought a load in last week. And it went from $290 a ton to $360 a ton. So it was quite significant for us, and we were surprised because we've already collected all these tires from people, and what we were charging them per tire, we've lost money on that load. Because if we think last load we brought in was October, so these were collected through the winter. So there's a significant increase there, and then also landfill fees went up. And also Sherburne County tax that they tax us, it's called a host fee, that also increased. Yes, then the spring items went up, but otherwise we were able to keep the appliances, the computers, the TVs, those items the same.
Okay, will we be able to, when we think about tires, it's gonna depend whether they're tractor tires, semi-tires, passenger car tires.
Yes.
Okay, so, will we be able to, or can you give us numbers on a per tire?
Yes, and they are in the document that I sent you. Yeah, it's the first,
Have that in front of me.
first part. Or pardon the,
Wonderful.
page 2.
Oh, you're way ahead of me.
Yep.
It doesn't take much, by the way.
So for an example, a car tire, in 2025, a car tire was $7 and it's going up to 10. And I did call other vendors to see what they were charging. And the worst one I had that got back to me, the other ones haven't responded. Anything with a rim, the cheapest was $16 with a rim, additional. So it'd been $26 for a tire with a rim. So this is our best place to go to a vendor, First State Tire.
So Mr. Mayor, yeah, thanks for coming in. I
Oh, yes.
appreciate it. So I just wanted to bring this up front and center because our cleanup day is May 2nd, and for economies of scale, we're doing theirs and stuff. But typically with the SCORE grant, from the county, we get about 8,900. And typically we lose a year about anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a year. So with these price increases coming up, when we put this in here, I think the biggest thing is with the rims. People come in with rims, we're gonna have to make that bold print that we are gonna charge you, for that, and make that quite clear if we want to do that or if we don't want to accept the rims. But tires, I just wanted to be alarmed because we do have quite a bit of tires. We have, 3?
Yes, 3 loads generally, 3 30-yard roll-off boxes
So-
full.
I just want to make that, if we advertise that, put that in bold as much as possible so people know and come prepared for this, that, oh, you're charging this much for tires? And the box springs went up from 20 to 30. So that's the other big increase.
Just a point of mention, dirty tires, they started doing that extra expense a few years ago. So tires are dirty, they're $5 more per tire.
Okay.
So ones that have been buried,
Muddy tires, dirty tires, that, okay.
like ones that are buried have things growing in them, stuff like that. And I can say what my definition would be of dirty. When we take them to the end market, to the recycler, their definition might be different than ours. But I say if there's dirt in them, on the outside of them, things are growing on them, they would be considered dirty.
Rocky, how many times do they run for 4 hours, typical cleanups?
Yes, we do have one that starts at 6:30 though and goes till noon.
Oh, wow. Well, I was thinking of.
And that's
short,
Palmer.
11.
Yeah, and because now last year weren't as busy.
Correct.
Yes, and all of the townships were less last year.
That's something,
Yep.
I know we do 8 to noon, but something to consider, because we do
Yep,
have.
you are 8 to 11 this year.
We already told them, okay, so we did do it, okay.
Yep, yep. And see, the landfill is open that day because Livonia Township is doing their cleanup that day. And the landfill wants to expand into Livonia Township. So they will open for them. So we have crammed, we have actually 5 cleanups that day. So we can get our trucks empty and then we save you money. So instead of us doing your cleanup, going back to Malacca, and then on Monday driving down and dumping and coming back, we're saving you that time. So we're going here, getting them empty and going back. Yeah, City of Elk River, they're doing theirs 2 weeks earlier, but they have 5 trash trucks is what they do, and theirs is longer too.
We're actually 1 week earlier than we normally would.
Yes, and so I can save you money. Same, so I have Livonia that day, we have you, we have Santiago, we have Palmer, and Princeton Township. Yeah,
So I appreciate you coming in. I just wanted her to come in and let you guys know, because I mean, cleanup day is 2 months away now.
Are we going to then take these increase in prices and have them reflect in what our prices here are here then?
That would be my suggestion, yes.
Definitely, I would, that's for a different conversation, I think.
Okay, I'm just
Right
asking.
now, but yes, we'll have to incorporate those into our schedule, whatever, before we actually.
Anybody got any further?
Thanks. I mean, you guys do a great job.
oh, well, thank you.
We like having you guys do this for us. You come equipped and with trucks and with equipment.
And the guys, they like working it. They do find some treasures.
It's kind of fun to watch whole hot tubs get chewed up in garbage trucks.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, please just give me a call.
Thank you.
Yeah, we will. Okay, fire department report.
Last year, we ran 33 calls in Baldwin Township. We had 25 medicals, 1 fire alarm. We had that emergency landing that Kyle was talking about, that plane. We ran 4 fires, had 1 burning complaint, and 1 personal injury accident that we responded to.
The airplane, did they just pull that out of there or how, what?
Yeah, he had engine trouble and he was thinking about making it over the trees to the airport, but the better part of valor and landed in the field, which is the smart thing because the plane stayed in one piece. It would have been a disaster if he had tried to make the trees.
Yeah, Collins Brothers towed it on their flatbed down the road. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Route.
that was,
Yeah, he landed it and it was he landed it on his wheels and was perfectly fine, so.
Was the one fire reported, was that the Schumacher fire?
Yes, it was.
I think
Anything else for us, sir?
Hey, Mr. Mayor.
But
Chad, how many calls we got total for the year?
we're at
Ballpark?
76?
76, 77.
76 so far.
Okay, thank you.
I remember the last time I saw. So,
A bunch. Up, way up from last
Anybody have any questions?
year. We'll start with the list here. Now, letter A, approve, disapprove Conway Shield invoice.
Yep, that's for our rechargeable batteries for our AEDs.
Motion approved.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Letter B, discuss, approve, disapprove electrical quote. Fire dance. Oh, to put it in a 50 amp outlet.
Yeah,
that's the Bow Electric quote. You guys got copies of it, so it's so they can put their stuff out there.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries. No, sir.
I don't unless you all have some.
Thank you. Yep, thanks
Thank you.
for doing all that you guys do. And gals.
Thanks, Chad.
Public comments, we do have one. Cal Watson. Mr. Watson, if you would, state your name and address for the record, please.
Callan Watson, 13737, 283rd Avenue Northwest, Baldwin, Minnesota. Mayor, Councilman, I'm here kind of to I'm here to represent the Lions. I've been a volunteer on the fire department, you guys know that. And I was the liaison between the Lions and the fire department. And I just want to let you know how, because they are such a good organization, I ended up joining them. So I'm now a Lion. So it's less stressing on my body, that's for sure. But anyways, I know you guys are having some talk about, fees for gambling and maybe a tax on gambling. And I just want to bring the light that the Lions have been very generous to the fire department in the neighborhood of $29,000 since 19. And those funds have cut off a little bit because of Bailey Ray's had a fire. And so their revenue has got cut in half. But they were told, or they told me when I was on the department, that they plan on donating $10,000 a year towards the fire department. And I think that money is better controlled by the Lions. And I know you guys would take that money, or whatever the taxation is, and give it to the fire department, and they would just, distribute it that way. I can't tell you what great organization and what great people they are that work for there. And I just think it's better that they continue with distribution of funds that they gain from the city of Baldwin. So that's basically what I have.
We do have that on here under some planning items with the ordinances and gambling. Rather than if you want to hang around for that or whatever, rather than entering into, when the ordinances were done and we incorporated to a city, part of those ordinances included the 10%. That's been there, right? So, we didn't add it. We're not talking about adding it. And a fee for an application for a gambling license.
Sure.
Both of those things, because as you know, I was also with charitable gambling, whatnot, with the Trail Association and those kind of things. Sherburne County, in fact, has a 25% fee, right? So, and that was instituted, and all of the other things were instituted as if an outside gambling organization, whatever, not from the county, came in. Then Sherburne County said, well, 10 or 25% of your proceeds, or at least your net anyways, whatever. Now, I'm a little fuzzy here now on how we got 10% in our ordinance, but there it is. And so when we have this discussion about this, I think that, I know the Lions have done this. The question is gonna be, and part of the discussion is gonna be, we can't necessarily pick and choose, you know what I mean? If we're gonna have an ordinance, I agree with the fact that, and I'll say this again, maybe I should wait, maybe I've gone too far already. But I agree with the fact that if an outside entity comes in, whatever, and does that, some of the dollars probably should stay here since we're gonna have some responsibility in the licensing and those types of things of that. I would have to say that, regardless of whether we keep that 10% or make that 10% even 15, I would have to say from what the Lions have done in the past, they're not gonna see any effect to that anyway, we're feeling a direct input. But anyways,
The ordinance does start out saying the city may,
correct.
so I
Right.
just,
And so, and that's part of what the discussion is gonna be, letter D and get there right quick.
okay, right. Any other questions? Oh, I want to add one other thing that the Lions helped out Mike Brinwell when he, for his benefit. They gave him a $2,000 check, for his hardship, and then helped out with his gambling, or with the the cribbage tournament that we had for him. And we did raise quite a bit of money there. And Carrie did state that without that and the Lions' help, through their gambling license, she wouldn't be able to, Mike wouldn't have been able to stay in his house, so.
And thank you to them for doing that.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Okay. Joan, are there any other public comment requests? Alrighty. Close the public comment requests at this point in time. Entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. And Mr. Holm, just so you know, the top bullet has been removed.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Planning items, code enforcements. Mr. Licht.
Mayor, you have the chart in the packet for you this evening. Two updates, 31611 127th Street, that's Flower Estates. There was a citation sent on February 17th, no response. So we're requesting that staff be authorized to send an additional citation, and then also have the attorney draft summons that would be sent after the expiration of the appeal period on the second citation. The other property, 9746 300th Street, again, citation set February 17th, no response, so same approach, another citation, and city attorney to draft a summons. That's the semi-trucks and operation of a business from that property. Just as a note too, at the last council meeting, the council voted to allow staff to initiate sending at least a step one letter to properties that presented particular problems, particularly health and safety concerns. So there was a property, and that was with notification and approval of the mayor. So there was one property, 14336 286th Avenue. There's a car in the right of way, so we sent that letter. Also 28328 100th Street, an RV being used as a dwelling. That one, I'm happy to report, we sent the first letter, received an immediate response from the property owner. The fire chief, building official, and myself discussed it, and we have an agreement with the property owner on resolution of that matter already. So that will be taken care of.
So do you need,
Need approval regarding 127th Street and 300th Street.
I'll make a motion to approve the, second letter on the?
Second citations and having the city attorney draft summons.
I'll make that motion.
second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Sign. Motion carries. That it on code enforcement?
That's it.
Discuss, approve, disapprove publication and summary form ordinance 2026, revising the fee schedule.
Mayor, this is an item that was an ordinance adopted or approved at the last meeting, but needs to be in ordinance form. So this was in the fee schedule, there's a $100 permit fee for a local premises. The council directed that there should be a $15 fee for a one-day permit. So this ordinance, in essence, implements that change.
This is for the fee, right?
That's just for the one-day permit fee. Reducing it from $100 to $15.
I'll second.
Motion and second to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Letter C, discuss, approve, disapprove, Resolution 2605, Country Pup Kennel IUP Amendment.
Mayor, Country Pup Kennel held an application in to expand their existing business at 30209 116th Street, where they had established a commercial dog kennel that provides boarding, daycare, grooming, and self-care wash facilities. That was approved by the town board in May of 2024. What they're proposing is a 2,000 square foot addition to the existing structure, basically to accommodate a larger waiting room and some retail space. City staff had reviewed the application and finds it's consistent with the requirements of the zoning ordinance. It's still consistent with the overall character of the area in terms of rural uses as affirmed by the Planning Commission and City Council after reviewing the matter. The Planning Commission held a public hearing February 25th. We did receive one written comment from the property owner to the south. Two property owners from the north spoke. Their main concern was noise from dogs barking. Neither city staff nor the owner was aware of concerns regarding barking. The owner obviously addressed the issue as part of his comments to the Planning Commission, saying they will take steps to address it. City staff indicated that it can always be addressed through an enforcement action if it continues to be a problem, and those concerned contact the city with those issues. The Planning Commission, in reviewing the application, had no concerns about the expansion of the building itself, noting that by adding this onto the southeast corner of the structure, that'll actually help mitigate some of the noise to the south of the property. So they were supportive of the change and recommended approval, subject to the conditions included in the resolution in your packet, of which there were 5.
If we want to
Correct.
discuss that with him, or what are the wishes? For us tonight is the addition to the building and public hearing and the public comments. There was no opposition to increase the size of the building.
I don't have any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. All righty. Letter D, discuss ordinances and the gambling fees. Mr. Rush.
Yeah, so my thing was just to discuss the ordinances from the previous meeting, that we were just more of an educational perspective to talk about, dogs at large,
Can I-
racetracks, and the cargo containers. And I think, Jeff, you proposed having one item a month or something like that from the last meeting on there. So I know the dogs at large or dogs barking, we're working currently with Sherburne County on that one. So I think maybe we just put, for right now, till we get that resolved, this educational purposes, just put like, this kind of like an FYI, the resolutions, or the ordinance, excuse me, for racetracks and cargo containers. Put it out there on the website, and then I know some council members are gonna meet with, who is it, Steve Conklin, the newspaper, and I think, those can be put in there since that's going to everybody's home. It's just more of an FYI from our previous discussion that we had with the city council and the, planning commission.
There's going to be more discussion with the planning commission on containers, and even a public hearing held for the changes in that ordinance. Do you want to add that to Baldwin today and Mr. Conklin, whatever, at that meeting
I think it would be,
previous to that?
I think it'd be beneficial, because if people have concerns, they can come and speak.
Only because if there's, so you don't want to advertise the ordinance, you want to advertise the public hearing.
Well, I would advertise the current ordinance and put something in there that, you know, the planning commission's working on it and that there will be a public hearing. So if they're concerned, great, they can come. If they're not,
I think would be a good thing to do is put it on our website, and in that is, you know, we have ordinances and a lot of people don't know them.
Correct.
Take one ordinance that we're not in discussion over, that we know what it is, and we slap, this is a ordinance of the month. And they can see, I don't want to call it that, but just so everybody knows this is, and then every month change, put in a new ordinance. Just to make people aware of what the ordinance is and what they can. When those get solved and finalized by the city council, then we can put those in there at that point. I think you do have upcoming stuff in that paper of what is coming up to be discussed and thought of, and then people show up and that kind of thing. We are having that meeting tomorrow with Steve Conklin, and see what we can come up with that. There's design that whole thing. I don't know when it will be published, how soon we'll get that published, so.
yeah, my goal is this to, with spring coming, you know, this, so people are just aware of it. You know,
I don't disagree.
just educating them.
Good idea.
I'm not going on a witch hunt.
Only thing I would think, just because we're in the midst of dealing with containers or whatever. And when it comes to the public hearing, when it's gonna happen, we are going to publish that. But to add it to something like this, I don't know if we know a date for that yet.
Mayor, that'll be at the March 25th meeting.
So if this does get in before then. Okay.
Mayor?
My opinion is that if you put it in there before it's resolved, you're just gonna add confusion.
I kind of agree with that, just because, well, wait a minute, it was this, now it's this, which one?
Yeah, I would, like I said, I'd only publish like the ones that we're not having any discussion, they are what they are.
I think if we wanted to add something at some point in time, actually comparing the changes that happened. Especially any of the ordinances that we, once they're ratified, if you will, whatever. With a comparison to what they used to be.
Yeah, and I know the planning commission's working on the cargo containers. I said my piece, I think it should stay as is. I mean, that's my line, but.
Well, and which is, I think, the meeting that we ultimately had, the joint meeting that we had, I don't think too many things have changed or opinions, if you will, you know, bringing in the public input.
That was it.
Mayor, can I just suggest at the next council meeting with planning items on the agenda, we'll bring a list of ordinances that we would suggest are frequently asked about, and that we would put into a rotation for publishing. And then basically, if there is an update, like with the cargo containers, then we can basically insert that in a timely manner and then bump everything back. But it just helps, you know, other places, we kind of have a rotation of, oh, it's springtime, these are the rules that apply about putting up new fences, et cetera, so.
Yeah, and I think that would be a good idea, especially on the website. And we can talk tomorrow with Mr. Conklin about if he has any other municipalities that have the insert and how they're laid out, and maybe see what works for Baldwin.
I think a big one coming up, you know, spring tracks too.
I think it's two shits you're thinking about.
Well, I'm not gonna.
You want to give specifications? You want to give the whoop-de-doo heights, the maximum heights and those kind of things? Just asking.
How many? How many
Okay,
blades of grass have to be ripped up in order to be considered?
more than three?
Whatever the ordinance states.
Okay, I agree, I concur with that. The other part of this was the gambling fees, and we touched a little bit on that. We already passed a motion for the ordinance 2026-02, amending those fees. My question here for this with more gambling fees is, do we want to mandate any of those dollars having to stay here in the city at all? Do we want, because we also have, it was reduced to a $15. It's $100 for a gambling license at this point. That was, I don't know if that was the one that was reduced, sorry. If I'm speaking out of turn or wrong, let me know, please. But at any rate, my question is, do we want to charge the church $100, whatever, to do a quilt raffle?
Well, that's the
That's the
$15.
$15.
The $15
Right,
one.
yeah.
Got reduced to $15.
You set me straight, thank you. Do we want to charge I'm just gonna say, this is past, it is what it is. Do we want to charge the church $15 for it? What I mean? We have a resident here that came in now thinking about the Lions Club and things like that. Okay. So Sherburne County, they do have, in their ordinances that, any gambling establishment, charitable gambling, 25% of the proceeds need to be left and or remain. And the whole thing is if they're gonna be doing it in Sherburne County. So let's just, I'm not picking on anybody in particular, but let's say Mystic comes down, takes all the dollars out of the Sherburne County establishments, if you will. Nothing left here. That's what Sherburne County. When I started saying this when I was with the Easy Riders, whatever, and we were doing charitable gambling. We had Ridgewood as a spot, we had the Ponderosa as a spot. Anyway, we were doing all this, so.
Beating yourself there.
Right, anyway, and when we did that, we had to come, as a township, whatever, I had to come, as the president of the club, whatever, to the township to say, we have charitable gambling happening in your town here, whatever, are you okay with it? And that was not because the town was making us do that. That was because the State Gambling Control Board, as part of the site license and those kind of things, forced us as the charitable gambling organization to do that. Right? And so, and when we did that, which I did several times, other presidents did several times, we had to do Princeton when we had the golf course, we had to do Baldwin when we did Ridgewood, we had to do Orrock when we did Rosa, and none of those other towns charged anything. So basically that, I just wanted to say that at this point in time. I don't know that we're in a place at all on this agenda or in this discussion to change anything. But with that in mind, we never used to charge anything. We really don't have anything that we're gonna do or we're gonna control or we're gonna have. This is a question from the state that's forcing the charitable gambling organizations to get signed on their license applications with the state for whatever to do. Say, hey, the local municipality. So I'm just asking.
Well, okay, so they gotta come forward and come to the city for the permit for the 1-day thing.
Yes.
So we thought that the $15 was a small nominal amount to cover a little bit of this administrative cost, that it wasn't burdensome, and that it wasn't gonna, maybe their, say, quilt thing or something's a small pot. We didn't want a big percentage of it. We just wanted just a nominal fee. That's where we came up with the.
And I don't have a problem with that because, it does need to come to Joan's attention or Kayla's attention. Ultimately make it to our meeting so that we can do something with it.
Which is more than $15 in cost, but it's just more or less a fee. That's it.
And then, as I started to say to Cal earlier, you know what I mean, the 10%, if you will, I'll be honest with you. I mean, we were in Sherburne County, whatever, so it really didn't pertain to us. What I mean, when I was part of the club, charitable gambling. Anyway, right, it didn't matter to us because we were in Sherburne County and went to the trail. ultimately that would still be the same, whatever, with the church doing a raffle, a one-day thing, that kind of thing. So I'm moving forward, food for thought. I mean, do we want the 10%? And I said to Cal earlier, I don't know that we could pick and choose. You know what I mean? I mean, if we're gonna do the 10%, it's gonna be blanket. And so, and I guess what I would think, if the 10% stayed, it's not, we're gonna say, okay, Lions, you owe us 10%. It's literally that if the donations are happening, whatever, as they have been, whatnot, to our fire department, to me, that satisfies it. We're not gonna throw a wrench in the gears of any of them, the church, anybody like that, whatever, saying, okay, we need to see your books in order to ensure that we got 10%.
And I think the question is then, I believe the golf course also has the 10% staying within Baldwin, and that's basically what we're looking for. My concern is we've had another charitable gambling organization that was here prior when we had another establishment, and none of that money came back into the township as far as we could tell. And I know when the fire department would go ask them for $500, they'd tell us no. Even though they were doing their charitable gambling in the city of Baldwin. Nothing on the line. I think Lions is a great organization. This is just what goes forward when another establishment opens up and decides to have it, and who's coming in there and who is doing that. Is it a organization that is not from Baldwin, but they're doing the gambling here? Is that any of that money coming back? That's what this is. I think that's about.
And so one example, actually, it's done and gone, but when the finish line was there, Mystic had pull tabs at the finish line, county. So technically, and that was no purview of ours ever. Technically, 25% of those dollars from Mystic revenue they generated in Sherburne County. Force that hand. Purview to that. Anyway, Dan, do you have any insight on any of that?
Mayor, just a couple points. So the ordinance that the city council adopted, it was drafted by the city attorney based on another template. So that ordinance requires 90% of the net profits from gambling be spent within what's defined as a trade area. So it's all the surrounding townships in the city of Princeton. So whatever organization it is has to take 90% of their profits and spend it only in that area. Then the ordinance says 10% of those profits need to be transmitted directly to the city quarterly each year. So they do have to provide books or a report saying this is what we raised, here's 10%, and transmit to the city. This came up at the last meeting when the mayor wasn't present, that hasn't been administered up to this point. And so that was the discussion at the last meeting. So then the city has the ability to have that money pooled and then disperse it for any purpose it sees fit.
Add on to that, Mr. Mayor, I think Mr. Rupi was going to come up with a letter to see what these were, like Fairway Shores.
Fairway Shores, I believe, has.
Ridgewood Bay. We're trying to think what this impact is at Christ Our Light Church, because they have a fun fest, in this fall. So I think we're just trying to see what organizations this would be.
I believe the attorney was also going to bring back a resolution stating that the 10% the city received from charitable gambling was to be allocated to the fire department. Given that Mr. Rupi is not here tonight, maybe you want to table this item over till March 18th so that he's present and has that information too, and then can discuss further changes to the ordinance if that's the desire of the council.
But I have, with the way the ordinance is written, I have a hard time throwing an auditing mandate onto charitable gambling establishments, regardless of who they are. Okay, now you have to do this. I mean, they're struggling enough as it is.
Yeah, and I don't think we need to be heavy-handed. I think it's just that, hey, if you're gonna do gambling here, try to direct 10% back to City of Baldwin. That's kind of my thing.
I think what we should do is, agree with tabling this until the 18th. Charitable gambling fees and those kind of things. Then, I'll try and talk to Bob here too and have some discussion with him so we can be ready to make a decision. And would I be speaking wrong if I told him that the crux here is not to be heavy-handed with our gambling establishments in that? So even if we wanted to say 10%, because 90% in the area, if the Lions Club if they have a member who maybe is, not in Sherburne County or any of those, whatever, I would not want to service their own members or somebody else was not deserving of that. It doesn't fit.
Mr. Lichty, so the service area is Princeton, it's based on Princeton?
So it's, all the townships, so, Wynett, Spencer Brooks, Stanford, Livonia, Oric, Blue Hill, Greenbush, and the city of Princeton.
But not the City of Baldwin?
Well, Baldwin's included. It's the city and surrounding townships, so
Okay. I'm just trying-
90% of the money
So
gets.
that, we are designated part of that service area? Okay, I'm just trying to clarify that, so. Even though parts of our city are closer to Zimmerman than Princeton.
Because the way that's written, that includes the church on their daily.
Correct.
It doesn't sound, where it's at right now, it definitely needs to be.
Of all the places we need to,
And Mayor, one approach may be simply to adjust the trade area to the area where the council wants to see the money spent and whatever percentage. So one city I work for, the school district has 2 high schools. Well, all the kids from that city go to one high school. So they basically said, okay, if it's all the high school programs that are doing the charitable gambling, the money's got to go to this trade area that doesn't include the north school district, so north part of the school
Yeah,
district.
I guess that's where my thing was, if the money's being, raised here, it's going out, and nothing against Wynett, but it's going out to Wynett, which doesn't really have a lot this year.
So you can review that trade area and adjust it as you need, or as you see fit, as council.
Can we do that in that ordinance then, or? how
Yes.
is- Okay, I'm just questioning.
let's table this to the next meeting then. This part.
I think it would be more clever to have a smaller trade area and a lower percentage, but then that gets it more focused closer here, which makes it advantageous to just donate it to the fire department, and that gets you covered.
I'll make a motion to table this to March 18th.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Cal. You bet. All right, Park Committee report, Mr. Rush.
Oh, yeah, we met last month. Dan was there for our first meeting, so kind of fill them in, what's going on. We've kind of had some turnover as well, with some members, so, we discussed, like if we're gonna continue meeting, next, we're gonna meet this coming month, and then we're gonna decide if we're gonna meet every other month or quarterly, kind of discuss like what the planning commission was doing with the comprehensive plan and where that will fit in with the park committee. And we also discussed, possibly putting a scoreboard at Young Park, right in right field. Trench it, so it's something, at $5,000. So that's what we're discussing. Also about discussing, putting, businesses having their signs fence there, inside the fence there, possibly, for that as well. That was pretty much it, right, Dan?
I'm gonna tell you right now, right there on that advertisements out there. That's a thumbs down for me on that.
Mayor, the only thing I would add is Councilmember Rush promised there would be cake at the meeting, and there wasn't any.
The Graham Kumba didn't show.
Dropping the ball, I'm telling you. Well, then he can bring it to the planning commission meeting.
There's cake back there. Joan made it.
Birthday.
That was, yeah.
Okay,
Bring cookies, but no one touched those things.
other than the missing of the cake, Mr. Licht, anything else?
No, nothing else to add to that.
At this point, I know it was your first meeting. Okay, letter A, discuss, application or appreciation for, Park Committee member Lester Creasel. Absolutely, he's in the Elam home now at this point in time. Something, we want to send a card, we want to do flowers, what do you want?
I think we should, get him a plaque.
Because he's had a lot of years of service.
Yeah, I'd say
Park
get him
Committee's been on there for quite a
Been
while.
on
Let's
every, I
get
think he's
a
been on every
plaque
committee
for-
there is here.
for that.
Almost 20 years ago, when I got on this board, this is kind of sad. It was public. Board seat of 28 years.
So it was you.
It was me, I know, I'm telling you. Run me out, please.
Yep, and
Yeah, I'd be in agreement
And
for a
Lester's-
plaque.
we'll discuss, he's involved with the cemetery, always shows up at the park. Searching stuff. Just like to give him a, like you said, a plaque or something to that effect.
Does, you wanna get the plaque, being at the guy to get the plaque?
Yeah, I can work with the city staff on that.
Just Brian Torberg has gotten plaques for the fire department before, if you want
Okay,
to
so reach out to Brian. Okay.
contact Brian.
All right, letter B, discuss, approve, disapprove, reappointment of Park Committee member Rob Ridmark.
Yeah, Rob's been on there. I think it will be his third term. So, I'm glad he, wanted to, fulfill another 3 years. So I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Ridmark. Letter C, discuss, approve, disapprove appointment of Park Committee member Rosie Marie.
Yeah, Rosie has been on, as she was an alternate. She was one of our alternates with, Jackie. So she, with some departures, like her to be official on the park committee. As
She's okay with it?
Yes.
What are the wishes of the council?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Board Rosie. Discuss, approve, disapprove resignation of Park Committee member Sarah Costi.
Yeah, Sarah was on, I think, for 2 terms, and she wants to spend more time with her grandchildren, and, give her a lot of credit and commend her term with us. So unfortunately, I understand.
Yep, absolutely.
So I'll make a motion to approve her resignation.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? I'd also like to say with appreciation or card of some sort, then thank you for being a part of the park committee. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried. All right, cemetery update. As far as the cemetery goes.
Yeah, so with this, I got the numbers here. Unfortunately, with Lester, I think Lester has been running, Jeff, correct, hold me honest, is it almost 30 years? He's been doing that or more?
I have never heard.
Okay.
Oh, well,
But he's been.
born in a house with no running water.
He's the
And someone still lives there and there's no running water.
Yep.
100th Street.
Oh, really?
He's a one-stop shop that handles all this. And I think we can currently have Phil and Zach. I think they can do more of the, I'm just throwing this out here. They can do more of the out there. But I think if we're gonna do any administrative stuff, that comes through here. Like the funeral home, the contacting Joan or Kayla, or else we also look at a person who has some experience in a cemetery, you know, like there could be another, Lester out there or something who can,
You could just move Tom Rush down there and,
get that.
I mean, your experience, you live in the neighborhood.
Right close, you work from home?
I don't have.
Win-win.
I don't have the tools as he does. He has a lot of tools. Certain tools.
And as far as that goes, I'd also brought up the thing of Marlene Nelson. Because for a bunch of years there, and when she was with us, she worked with Lester, she worked with that cemetery, she knows people, she knows all of that. So I would suggest, at least for the sexton, the person, reach out if everybody's okay with that with Marlene. See
Yeah, that's, I mean, that's,
if she does that for
Great
Bluegill
idea.
as well.
right after Tom, I think that's an excellent idea.
So that includes the taking care of the sales?
Well, that's gonna be part of what's gonna wind up coming in here.
Well, but who's gonna go out there and meet with the people and, you know, well, here, we got this one here and
That's why I'm
down
asking.
here, how about those? No, those have been bought in about 100 years ago and
Which is part of the survey and the plating and the map and all of that that we've done, so that we know all of these things.
And I think Lester wrote down the procedures of everything he does.
Book.
And Marlene was here working with Lester, but I think we need to ask Marlene first and start there and see where we're at.
Yeah, Joan, did you want to say something? And Lester did bring back it's not the,
Yeah, we've got it to buy,
his Bible.
yeah, his Bible.
So we have a process for what we do here in the office, but the front line, as far as selling the plats, the meeting out at the cemetery, we have nothing on that. We should also discuss too, we had a call today for sale, so we gotta kinda act on this, how we're gonna, you know, when people inquire about buying it, how we're gonna direct them to the right person for that sale. Something also that needs to be discussed is a lot of verification, I think, needs to happen with that book that Lester has, what we have in the computer, and before that map gets done by Hawkinson Anderson. Because we found a few discrepancies, and we need to make sure everything's correct.
Yeah.
So, last week, I authorized Kayla to start taking a look at that book and the maps and the information that we have to ferret out as many of the.
But that's gonna take quite a bit of time, at.
And I think maybe with Marlene coming in here, since she worked, maybe she can, if she wants it, can elaborate some of those concerns. And I think the sales of a lot, are they 600 and 800? Is that what they're, 100 if you're a resident, 800 if you're non?
I think we should consider raising the non up a little higher. It's a scarcity. We don't need people dropping off bodies from other counties.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Well, I'm not saying locally, I'm talking Hennepin County, That's why we made sure we have vaults and all that stuff, because there's a group of people that like to bury their loved ones in a cardboard box.
Cemeteries.
Same day.
They're just funny things, because there's a certain group that's been dealing with them for years and years and years, and it's worked.
Sorry, I was, it's $500 if you're a resident, and it's $700 if you're non-resident. And I knew the $25 for the cemetery permit, for the gravesite marketing, and for the monument. That's where,
$25 was,
what, Lester,
yeah, I went to Lester directly, we had nothing to do with that.
so that's something we gotta look at.
Oh, maybe we just put the fees schedule on the next meeting.
We should review it.
Yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
that tells us pretty much everything we need to know at this point in time. Question then is gonna
It was
be,
2010.
would Marlene be able to pick up if Lester left off?
I make a motion to have Tom be the interim until we find a permanent.
I'll second that motion.
Oh, gee.
I never second motions. But I like that idea. Great. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign.
Thank you, Tom.
There you are, thanks. I appreciate you stepping up, man. That's awesome.
This is interim, Tom. This is temporary.
But at any rate, and I think that we should also follow through. I mean, maybe Marlene is
Tell my boss, I
not
have to
equipped.
leave, I have to go to a.
Or interested.
or interested.
Well, if she's not, maybe she can guide us to somebody that,
Or maybe we advertise, or maybe we advertise for somebody.
you know.
Good job for retiree.
Yeah, exactly. Or somebody, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I'm
So
just-
do you mind if I kind of reach out to different areas? I know the guy at Spencer Brook. I grew up there.
Who does that?
Nichols.
Old-timey name there. in
Yeah.
Spencer.
But I think that maybe we should advertise if Marlene says no, can't find it, I think that we should.
I would consider that we look at the rates for the lots, the fees, and use or increase to help, attract having someone that wants to really take ownership of this.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, is it stipend for Lester, did we increase that from 50 to 100?
Yes.
So you get $100 stipend, and then he collected that 25 and 25. Just so you guys are aware.
That cemetery on the south side of 325th, is that a private one out there?
Yes, they tried to get us to take over the Berry Cemetery, and we said, no, thank you. Have a nice day.
I remember that, I just.
Because the deal here is that we have a cemetery fund that, yeah. And with that, we would have just, took ownership of it, and it's not so much a growing, it would just been an ongoing expense forever.
The newspaper that you want it advertised in, do you want
don't know if it's all
Union
filled,
Times or Town and Country
Read
Show?
very many people being
Well, are
buried.
we gonna ask Marlene first
For a
and then
long time.
advertise, or you want to do it?
Okay, if she says no,
It's a
do you want
purple one.
to?
I was wondering if somebody was taking charge of it, because we could send it
We
to
could-
Just wait till next.
Approve that contingent to Marlene. Blanket no. If she wants to think about it, that's not no.
I'll second, yeah.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion.
Mr. Mayor, did you want to have do the rates at the next meeting, or wait till the first meeting of April?
Let's, no, we can probably do it at the next meeting.
Be nice, and Bob will be here.
Yeah. That would be the 18th of March. So let's add that to the 18th.
Rates and policies.
Alrighty, table items, resolution, discuss, approve, disapprove resolution 2604 delegating authority to certain city officials. This is what Bob had written in that contract, and I wanted to talk to him about it. I have not talked to him about it yet, I haven't had time. So, this will.
Motion to table? Okay, I'm motion to table till the
Motion is
18th.
seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. New business. Discuss, approve, disapprove job descriptions for Public Works Supervisor, Clerk, Deputy Clerk, Mr. Rush.
Yeah, so at the last meeting, we did approve, Bill's position going out for replacement. And we also, at the last meeting, went ahead and, talking to Joan and Zach and Kayla, excuse me, to, update their positions as well. To go from there. So we did have, should have them in front of you. With Zach's position, I think it should say, have that, should say Public Works Supervisor, like it's here, or if you want, Public Works Director, whatever, but supervisor for that. And then I didn't have any, I looked over and I didn't have any issues with any of the job descriptions there. Joan, do you have yours up too, or did you want to start and just do one by one? I don't know.
So everybody has a copy of these. Here's mine if you want to start there.
Okay. Joan, can I see yours?
Yes, if you could borrow your hard copy.
Have it?
Is it in here?
Yes. Everybody has a copy of all three of these jobs.
Yep, yep.
Oh, there they are, sorry.
Oh, they're right in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Everyone should have one, a copy of it.
Thank you.
Out at me, it looks
Yeah,
good.
I was gonna agree with you.
All three of these have been reviewed by Curry and Rupee because Phil's position was reviewed by Bob. So I thought you guys would be okay with these three being reviewed too.
My question is, how different are these from other similar positions in the area? The job descriptions?
I mean, I would say they're very similar because we all do the same thing.
Okay, I didn't know what the job descriptions for Zimmerman, Princeton. What do those job descriptions look like? Places as compared to what this is?
I did not inquire.
Huh?
I did not inquire.
I've seen a lot of job descriptions and they're fine, but I think they're a little sparse in the, some of the preferred qualifications. For instance, the clerk has a bachelor's degree. Deputy clerk is just some little bit of experience. And I'm assuming we're looking for the deputy clerk to at some point take over to the clerk. And they wouldn't even be qualified based on these job descriptions. Know what I'm saying? I just think we're a little thin on what our requirements are.
Question becomes, what does experience have that degree, or that would either make up for
Yeah, and
lack of a degree?
it's for this, and the deputy clerk's got, some experience, but it doesn't say how much. Is it a year? Is it 2? Is it 3 years? That's usually you see a number of years' experience in the field to fill that in. I'm not trying to beat up on it. I just think they're a little sparse for me, as having seen these, quite often I've seen looking at application, looking at these descriptions and that kind of thing, qualifications.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I think, to answer your question, I just think the updated one for Phil wanted it to update, make sure them all, now that we're a city now versus a township. And I just, last meeting we discussed to update their job duties, and
First we're seeing of it.
Yep, and then have the attorney, you know, Jones said, went over them, so. I understand it.
I just would feel more comfortable if we got some comparables. And what actually do we want for that in there? I understand it's updated. I would not be comfortable approving these. It has approve, disapprove on here, and I'm not comfortable approving them at this time.
Mr. Mayor. With the clerk and the deputy clerk, and it says, you know, requirements and qualifications where, you know, maybe that's where we need to have desirable or preferred instead of just saying requirements. Because to me, I read it as you're required. And it doesn't really leave a lot of language for equivalent experience. So I think Scott's made a valid point that you hire one on this as a deputy and they meet this, but then they don't meet that, but
Yeah.
yet they're qualified
Yeah.
with their experience here, if that's the situation. So, I agree with Scott that these are not where they need to be to approve them tonight, but, you know, I would.
Talking all three of them, or just the clerk, deputy clerk?
I
Well,
think
if
all
we're in the
three.
discussion, I mean,
They're grouped together, so, and I think I would not be in favor of approving any of them until we look at some other ones and see what actually do we want for those qualifications, desired or required on all three. Like I said, I think they're a little sparse.
well, I would say that I think the Public Works one is closer to what it needs to be. But, I mean, just on the first portion of the clerk and deputy clerk, I've already got a objection to it. To get that language so that we don't box ourselves into.
So Scott and me had a discussion about this a little bit, and we discussed the bachelor's degree for the, you know, city clerk. If we had a city administrator, I wouldn't think the clerk would need a 4-year bachelor's degree. But if we keep it, the structure that we have now, you should have your clerk have a 4-year degree. I struggle, we use Ellers, and you really need somebody with the finance and the accounting. You see the spreadsheets that Elizabeth does when she's here? We need somebody that can just do them super complex Excel spreadsheets. I'll be honest, if you don't want to keep relying on outsource for your accounting and finance, et cetera, that is not something that, you know, me or Kayla can do, I'll be honest with you.
But
And so you need to find either you get a city administrator or you require the 4-year degree.
And like I said, I just think we need to look around and see what the other things, and I certainly think a preferred thing would be a 4-year degree. I could see getting by with a 2-year at this time, but again, let's flush them out a little bit. Again, I would not be open to improving.
Okay, so where do you want to go from here? Do we want to have comparables and look at them? And a chance to look at them?
That's what I would like, some comparables, and what do we as a city want for qualifications in each one of these job classifications?
Okay, when I look at,
Do comparables, though. I mean, we could be different.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not saying we take a different municipality and we lock it in. I'm just wanting something for discussion. Right now, I got nothing. All I got is this. I want to see what else is out there and see if there's something, hey, this is a good qualification that we never thought and that we would like people to have before they apply for this. And I really do think we need to have minimum years of experience. If you're going to give equivalent of experience as a job qualification, you gotta give them you gotta give something, because, you know, quite frank, you know, the public works one is fine, but it's just experience in public works. So you could have 1 month experience in public works and it qualifies. You know what I'm saying? It's a little sparse.
So I can get the information from, a city or two, but I think it's important that, maybe the city council reviews these a little bit more thorough and kind of, puts what they're looking for.
I can see some changes.
Sounds like a workshop.
Motion is?
I didn't make a motion. I thought you already had one going.
I didn't have a motion going, but I
Well, I mean, when we look at this, when I'm looking at this at first blush at this point in time, we have minimum qualifications. And then we have desirable qualifications. And if we're gonna call them, that person, supervisor of our public works department, then I would think part of the minimum qualifications needs to be the one that's listed on the top of desirable qualifications, supervisory or lead worker experience. I mean, if we're gonna have them run people, they better have ran people.
well, that's my point, is that some of this needs to get moved around and kind of, what do we want? Minimum
I think
and
he's not-
preferred.
If we're gonna go that route, I think he's on the ball. We probably should schedule.
I don't disagree.
With Bob present.
My only thought is that if we schedule a workshop, we do it, I would encourage all city council members. Let's research on our own before we get into that, and we're not trying to invent it that day.
Well, it would help to have, like you said, some area, ones from the area to
So let's do this.
measure to up to.
Let's see if Joan can get comparables from, say, Zimmerman, right?
We did say that at the last meeting, get some stuff. I believe we did that.
I don't recall that.
Salaries, okay.
Well, and salaries as well. Let's get Zimmerman, let's get Elk River, let's see if we can find Princeton.
Now then.
Let's see if we can find Now Then, that's fine as well. You know what I mean, to see what they're doing at this point in time. See if we can get that by the 18th meeting. Table this to the 18th meeting for more discussion to see that we've got the comparables and got the things to look at, and then at the 18th meeting, that agenda to discuss or schedule
Okay,
Mr. Mayor,
motion.
real quick, I would encourage us to add the fire chief into that.
for a job description.
Yes.
Sure. Then you're gonna have to build one.
There's plenty of them, there's plenty of that available to do that, I certainly can. But I would encourage the city council members to come up with what your thoughts the fire chief should have. I will have something for you, but I certainly.
Well, you for what, the next 15, 20 years? No, I agree with you totally. If we're gonna define positions, let's define that one as well.
Need a motion?
Yes.
Motion was to table this till the 18th?
18th, whatnot, for discussion, let's see what the comparables are and see if we have enough information at that point in time to schedule a workshop to discuss this.
And have on the agenda to schedule a workshop.
Second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All righty. Let's see here. That is discuss, next is discuss the approved, can't even speak. Discuss, approve, disapprove Paid Family and Medical Leave Act policy. This came from Curry and Rupee.
Bill.
Just so you know too, we had a form that was signed previously for the, policy. This was received from the attorneys, and they did say that they should sign the last page to this policy also, so we'll be routing that around again.
Employees.
Which will be.
Do we have to have them sign another one?
This one, if it's approved.
So we did approve one back in, I think it was like October. Curry and Rupee thought they sent us this policy and they didn't, so I think that this just kind of incorporates
What was
everything.
before.
Yes,
and what
yes.
needed to be.
Does this need to get approved tonight?
It should be, as moving forward, the accounting for it, if it comes up or comes to be, is gonna. And plus also too, one of the next things on the agenda here is, a proposal from our auditors to actually take a look at this and inform.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve paid family medical leave.
Second.
I mean, I haven't read through it, so that's why I was.
That's a different document.
Oh, that's something else.
That's a different document.
Okay, I was like, what?
Will you find the right documents?
You don't have this one, it was only sent.
Now, this,
out.
this was on the email, I've already read it on the email, so.
Okay, I was reading this thing.
Attorneys, that is.
Yep, this was received from Mark.
Mark?
Yep.
Okay, I'll second it.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Alrighty, letter C we have on there, discuss, approve, disapprove proposal from the auditors. Now that we have this, we know what this is a proposal for $300.
That's what I was reading. That's right.
Yeah, I know, I was looking.
I saw Minnesota paid leave, and I'm like,
And basically what this one is, so, Joan met with Banyan Software people, got this included into our software, so that as this is enacted, it is, accounted accordingly in the software. Question is, from our auditor, Carlson SV, who, used to be
Burkhart, they bought it.
Burkhart and Burkhart changed to Carlson.
They got bought out.
These are our auditors, basically, new company name, whatever. To ensure, they have a $300 retainer to do this, to ensure that this fits according to what they're gonna wanna look at to audit. Remember how, as becoming a city, we went through literally every line item of everything? The auditors got involved and the accountants got involved, and we ultimately did all of that. So this is a proposal to ensure that this fits into everything we had done before and accordingly to what the state GASB principles and all want to see.
I think everything's correct, but it's nice to have another set of eyes on it too.
I think for $300 to ensure that we don't have any hiccups,
300 is just a retainage.
that with the retainer, but
A final invoice will be presented
you have
upon
the
completion of the
indication in
service.
there as well.
What did you say, Tom, about page 9? Has Mr. Rupee reviewed this?
No,
So the question is, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? I mean, if we find out that this adds something to our audit at the end of the year, or do we bite the bullet at this point in time, let them take a look at it and make sure that it is going to fit? They won't have the excuse of. If
Because if
they
it doesn't fit, they're gonna be charging us anyway.
come back to haunt us no matter what. So, with that thought, let the chips fall where they may. I mean, Banyan whatnot has got it installed into our software and the directions, the places, the things that we think it's supposed to need to be. Question is, do we want verification from our auditor? And indemnification, that's gonna happen. I agree with you, Tom.
Joan, did they give you any sort of estimate how long it would take them to go through it?
It's a monetary loss, attorney fees, and I look at contracts.
Oh, everybody puts it in there now, so.
Well, the other part of that too is by your negligence, dishonest, intentional act or misrepresentation. We have a policy, the state's mandating it, this is how we're implementing it, tell us how we're gonna do, so. Indemnity from, literally, that's indemnity from nothing.
That's not fair.
What are the wishes of the council? What?
I'd make a,
She switched the screen to a beach.
That's better than,
I make a motion just disapprove hiring the auditing firm to do this.
second,
Yeah, I'll second that too, because.
motion and
this-
second,
this
any
is
further
A lot
discussion?
of stuff going on.
Well, I don't know how much it's gonna end up costing. It could turn it into a $5,000 bill.
Well, okay, let's say that you want to disapprove this at this point in time. Would you take a friendly and tell if Joan can find out from them, what do they think this is gonna cost? Or is it the $300? Right, then it can come back to the next meeting with new.
Yeah, I will accept that friendly.
I totally agree with you in the fact that this is open-ended anything.
Yeah.
Was there a second to that?
To the friendly?
I'll
But
second.
yeah, would you take that as a friendly, then your second? Motion and second, that is to have you find out from them what this is gonna be. So it's disapproved at this point in time, literally, it is disapproved at this point in time, until we find out what. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries. Okay, letter D, this is, Mr. Walker would like to set up a meeting with the city engineers.
Yeah, I talked to,
You want a meeting with you and the road guys, or with the council, or,
well, I, with the road guys for sure. Because we're trying to get some figures out so we know where we stand. Because we don't know what we've spent or what we're gonna spend yet. We have no idea what cost is gonna be on what we got going.
yeah, in the last meeting that we had with the engineers, we instructed them to go on the 3 reclaim and overlay projects, whatever, and as
Yeah.
far as I know,
No pricing on it,
haven't heard anything back from them yet.
no.
I think from the December 8th workshop, we had the 3 roads there. But I think what we needed, if I'm not mistaken, is that we were gonna go out for bidding in April on this. We're now in the beginning of March. So I think what we need to do is, if we're gonna meet, because from the email that I was, as a role contact too, was that if they want both engineers here, Sam and Shane, I think this one should show up, or if we're gonna get the 2 for 1, because we need to get answers that I think the council needs to decide, how thick of asphalt do we want? Are we paving to the the driveways, road right of ways? I mean, these are questions that we should have answered. And then we also, I think you had something in that meeting about stormwater for Sandy Lake and Lake Diane for the curb. I think from that meeting too. So I'm not opposed to the meeting, but I just think, the these were things that we wanted to, have a little bit sooner than later. So,
And as I recall, check me if I'm wrong, but from that workshop, we thought by March meeting, which they would be here, which would be the 18th, they would have those answers for us, preliminary things, so that we
Yeah.
can go out to bid in April. That was the last I had heard, so maybe we need to reach out to them. Going to have that information available for us on the, or then scheduling this meeting would be.
yeah, and I'm not opposed, but I'm just like, I think what Mr. Walker is saying is we're trying to, is that gonna cost $500,000 to do those those overlays? And then that's gonna determine how much money we're gonna spend for crack sealing projects, sinkhole repairs, other things that we wanted to get done that we've done in the past. And we just wanna see where we're at with, it's kind of holding up the numbers.
We have John,
Have it broke down a little bit too, so we know what the
Yeah, both
engineer fees and the, everything is broke down so a little bit, so we know.
soil borings were,
As far as I recall, that's what we asked them to do, and that's what they said they were.
right.
yeah.
And we had specific conversations with them saying we want to
Okay.
be going out in April or whatever. I don't know that they've floundered yet. The question is, have that stuff?
Can you let me know what costs you want, the soil borings, and then what else?
No, Mr.
They would typically provide an itemized cost estimate for their work, so it'll outline each of those separately.
Yeah, and to his point, I think it'd be good, like if we're doing, I can't remember the roads I have here, 299th, 129th, and 300th Avenue. If we have a breakdown of each of those,
Oh, they will.
so then we can,
That was the plan.
we can determine going forward, if we do another project like that, we can have.
I would just say have Joan check to see if they have the cost estimates from the December meeting that they were supposed to get and that they'd have them.
Including the engineering.
And if and she gets a hold of them, and if there's a hiccup, then she would find out, well, we need those cost estimates ASAP before the March 18th meeting.
Yeah, but I think Sam, what they would like to meet is what,
Oh, and I don't disagree. Once.
prior to that.
Yeah, they give.
wanna meet
like
prior
3
to
different
that.
Dates that they could,
Yeah.
they wanted to meet up.
Oh, they wanted to meet. I thought
They
you
wanted to meet.
I thought you, yeah.
Well,
was
I asked for,
confused
and
there.
then they wanted to
You
meet.
wanted to meet.
No, then they set the dates to meet up with.
Yeah, they want to meet us, but this is information that I'm saying that, is gonna be, in April, we're gonna have bidding.
Wait, so they want to meet with us before the 18th of March?
They would like to meet with Al and Zach,
Yeah.
but I think there's questions that the city council has to give these guys help with thick of asphalt, the repavement to the, the culverts, everything like that we typically do on a road project that we can have. But yeah, they would like to meet, during the day. They gave us 3 dates, one tomorrow, March 5th. Probably ain't gonna happen. The other one, Monday, March 9th, between 1 and 5 PM. And then the other one, Tuesday, March 10th, at 9 to 3 PM, 9 to 3 PM.
The only one that works for the entire council to be involved would be the 10th of March. So,
We can all meet, I mean,
not a problem.
but I didn't know if he,
Well,
this was sent to the road. This email was only sent to me and Al. So I didn't,
So,
do we need the entire council, or do we need just a couple of council along with?
Well, I think a couple would be sufficient.
I don't know if I can make it on March 10th. From 9 to 3.
What did they say the reason of the meeting is?
So thank you for sending the information. We have been working towards finishing the construction plans and engineer's estimate for the reclaim job for this summer, 99th. For this summer, 129th, 300th Avenue. Meeting before the 18th council meeting would be a great idea to discuss your items below, as well as some questions that we need answered before we can finalize the plans. As for Lake Diane and Sandy Lake areas, we can print off some aerial maps for the meeting so that we can have a preliminary discussion about the improvements may look in those areas. Below are some dates and times that work for Shane and myself.
Okay, would you be able to meet with them one day with Al? I could meet with him, but I don't know anything about that stuff, so I'd be. Okay, yeah, there's a road.
I mean, I think this is the preparation they want to meet so they have everything, i's and t's,
Before the meeting.
and then come to March 18th and saying this. No, I apologize. No,
Okay, different trajectory. All right, so the 10th would be the only time the entire council could meet.
Yeah, and I don't think we need that.
So,
If it's during the day, I'm out anyways.
And those two are out.
you're a sales guy. You need to bring us donuts. That's what needs to happen.
We don't do donuts.
Yeah.
We do lunch, but we do not do donuts. Donuts do not do
You're
anything.
gonna bring us donuts for this engineering.
So they had the 5th, the 9th, and the 10th?
Yeah, tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
but that ain't gonna work at 2 PM. Monday, March 9th, between 1 and 5 PM. And then Tuesday, March 10th, 9 AM or 9 AM or 3 PM, he has.
Or 3?
3
Anywhere
PM.
between 9 and 3.
Boy, yeah. Is that what he says, right?
Yeah.
Well, so tomorrow's out, so it's gonna either be the 9th or the 10th.
What's your schedule look like, Jay? I know. I'm just,
9th. Let's do,
Al can meet as road contact one, and
Right.
Zach from Public Works can be there as well.
but I just, if Al and Jay can be there, then you know what you want for how thick a road and all that
you
kind of
want
stuff.
me there? Do I need to be there?
Well, it'd be nice.
Okay, 9th, or, I mean, the 9th then, 1 to 5, right? That's Monday. So, yeah, that's fine. I'll pick a time. What time do you want?
1.
1
1
o'clock,
o'clock
1
would be
p.m.
fine. 9th at 1?
And do we want both of them there, or do you want, said both of them?
They want both of them here?
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah.
that's what I think he was alluding to.
That's what the email.
Yes, I would suggest we have both of them. Talk to the other. We want Dan here as well? I'm giving him a chance to, you know.
He said don't right away. He said don't right away.
Mayor, I'm with the fire chief. It's a road, so.
It's a road. Okay, 9 o'clock, there it is, all righty.
9 o'clock you want me? Say 1.
No, 1 o'clock on the 9th. 9 o'clock on the 1st. How's that? Okay. Letter E,
At 9 o'clock on first though.
okay, now we're getting punchy, you guys.
Yeah.
Come on now. Hang with me. All righty, that takes care of D. Letter E, discuss, approve, disapprove, continuing flying the old Minnesota flag.
Motion to approve.
A second,
A
yeah.
second, absolutely. Any further discussion? Now, others have done this by resolution. Do we want to do it by resolution, or do we want to do it?
I like it by resolution.
Okay, so then your motion is to have us draw up a resolution.
Yes.
To say that.
Yes, that is my motion.
Take that as a friendly.
Yes.
Further discussion? Hearing none. That lets everybody know we're doing it. This is fantastic. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. All righty. Letter F, agenda packet items by Monday for the Wednesday meeting. Mr. Case.
In discussions with the clerk, they're having to adjust the agenda packet and they're not getting all the stuff, so I want to have a firm deadline for any printed items that they have to put in the agenda packet to be in by noon on Monday for the Wednesday meeting.
If at all possible.
Yeah, if it's
I
not,
say that because sometimes stuff comes up and there's just nothing.
right, if it doesn't, then we prefer to kick it back to the next meeting after that, you know. Is that, Joan, do you want to speak on it a little bit?
I do prefer a deadline, and like Scott said, maybe it goes to the next meeting. I know there's some things when it makes it hard for us to post a complete agenda on our website and also on the back table. you're printing stuff, you're printing the packet and then you're adding stuff and it makes it really difficult. I've talked to Jay about this too, and it just gives a deadline so that you
Well,
can.
we have another interesting dilemma, and that is that when we had our Monday night council meeting, we had to have stuff in and posted, the agenda posted 3 days prior, which was a Thursday deadline. So now that we moved to Wednesday meetings, whatever, we're really stuck at that Thursday deadline. But what that has the ability to do is add Monday and Tuesday of the following week, the meeting week, if you will, where things can come in. And so I think I'd do the best we possibly can. I mean, there are things that, do come up, like Hawkinson Anderson meeting, or may not have anything. Now, the legalities of all of this, we have to post the agenda. Got to be 3 days prior to the meeting, not included in the meeting day. So, and we try and do that, which means Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and then we can have a meeting. We can do that. The other part of this too is we go to the effort every year, whatever, before the beginning of the year, to calendar all of our meetings. So anybody can look at any calendar, whatnot, and see our website and whatnot, and know when any of our meetings are coming. So what that also means too, legal-wise, is that while we have an agenda, we also have the ability to add anything to and/or discuss anything at the meeting, even during the meeting. Discuss at that meeting to do the business of the city. Have the ability to do that. The question becomes the transparency issues and what is it? Some things here like my flag edition, right? You know what I mean? This worked out absolutely perfect because I want to bring up the resolution. The resolution now puts it out into the ethos, if you will, whatever. Everybody who wants to see these minutes, watch the tape, is going to see us talking about it, will now know that a resolution is going to come. So transparency, huge transparency. I mean, for the most part, and I think that we need to strive, and I think we always have, strive to, if we know by Wednesday or Thursday of the following week, whatever, these are the things we're going to do our level best. I said this to not add, or say, I'd like to add, if that's part of that meeting, I'd like to add the next meeting, whatever that item would be.
And my simple point is the stuff that has to be printed out and added into the packet.
Correct. So people would have an unfinished.
So they have ability to look at, and it gets put on the website in the agenda packet on the website.
As the dude would say, some new shit's come to light, and that comes up every once in a while. We have the ability and the right to bring it at the day of the meeting. I think with what Joan's asking is, don't show up on Monday, Tuesday, and try to have it added to the packet. If I don't have it in by the deadline, I'll just bring it to the meeting and add it at the meeting.
And that's really the point, is just that as a council have a recommended deadline of,
Try
Monday.
your level best to get it.
Get it in and not drop it on the clerks at the last minute.
Yeah.
And which I think also means like the Public Works report and any other reports that we have, whatever, you know what I mean? If we can get that in by Thursday, the packet, and it's not.
Does the council have a preference on when they want the agenda packet, since the meetings moved to Wednesdays? I like to, in the past, when there was Monday night meetings, I like to send it on Friday, because I was like, well, you have all weekend, and then Monday, all day to review. Do you have a preference on how many days that you would prefer to have it sent to you, so you have ample time to look at it before the meeting?
I'd be okay with Monday, that's fine. It gives us 2 days of, the packets, I mean, it's usually not that thick that, can't spend, a half hour. I think Monday would be fine.
Monday, as soon as you.
So for,
Not on the Monday?
And usually if I'm looking at it on Thursday or Friday, I'll forget half the stuff by Wednesday the following week, so I prefer to see it on Monday, so it's in fresh.
It helps, it just eliminates strings hanging.
Sure.
That's all. Okay, is there any other business?
Yes. Don't you have announcements for any other business?
Yeah, we usually do that.
Why don't you do your
All right,
announcements?
special planning commission meeting Wednesday, March 11th at 7 PM. Next city council meeting will be Wednesday, March 18th at 7 PM. Easter egg hunt at Young Park, Saturday, March 21st, 2026, 10 AM. The local board of appeal and equalization is Thursday, April 16th. And Joan, I think I'm still certified, and Al, you.
Yeah, I am too.
Self-certified as well. Mr. Case, I think you are from a while ago, so we're golden on that. Okay. Now, Mr. Holm, is there any other business?
Yes. So some new shit's come to light. Princeton Public Utilities is eyeing up kicking Conexus Energy out of the industrial park in the city of Princeton that's located in Sherburne County. It's been serviced since its inception by Conexus or Anoka Electric at that time. And our fine commissioner, the Honorable Bradley Schumacher, reached out to me and wanted to make me aware of this, and I think he's reached out to other people, but, we have the 16-acre solar garden located in the city of Baldwin on the Prairie Restoration property. And we do receive revenue from that. And we also are responsible for the end of life, the whole cycle, if, things go awry and people go bankrupt and there's a defunct, contaminated site there or Superfund site, it's gonna come back to the city at some point, if it ever goes that way. So we do collect revenue off of there, but it's probably likely that if the Public Utilities Commission flexes their muscles, kicks Conexus out of there, has to pay them for the infrastructure, they're probably gonna want the solar garden as well. So I think we need to let our attorney know about the situation that's developing and have him aware. And I would recommend that if they start doing any kind of actions, that we do a cease and desist order against them trying to lay claim to the solar garden that's in the city of Baldwin. And that if it comes down to it, we'll see you in court. That's my opinion. And I think it's a terrible thing that they're gonna try to oust Conexus out of there. I can't believe that some of the large companies in there with big power use would wanna be a part of that Public Utilities Commission's rate system. The Conexus Energy does a lot in the terms of economic development and trying to make opportunity. Princeton Public Utilities doesn't do anything, right now, all the infrastructure that Conexus owns is paying property taxes and is helping benefit us as property taxpayers in this community. And so, I don't know, has anybody got any thoughts or comments on it, how they feel?
First, I've heard that they're trying to do that. The first thing my mind jumps to when you tell me that is that solar farm is owned by Conexus Energy. 25-year lease. I think it's a 25-year lease because that's what the lifespan is supposed to be. Also have the option to do that once more. I don't know how Princeton Utilities, if they did boot Nexus out of there, do that, but I don't think they have the ability to tell Conexus Energy, now you owe us a solar. Unless they actually entered into an agreement, because when Conexus Energy put that in, they did a whole bunch of lobbying with local municipalities, Princeton Power Company, anyway, whatever, that kind of a thing, in order to all that. So, and knowing that it was gonna go to help own profits or their own market needs. So I think that they would have to buy it from Connect. So, and I don't know, I guess I don't know enough about it to know if the Princeton Utilities definitely has the ability, Dan, maybe you know, the ability to kick out somebody like Connexus.
That's all regulated by a state.
So,
There definitely would be compensation involved
Absolutely.
to the cooperative from the Public Utilities Commission, whether they can, finance or afford that. But the other problem is, so say they end up acquiring the ownership of the solar field, do you think then that they're gonna request to detach that acreage and bring it into the city? And what does that lead to?
Who does the solar farm supply mostly?
Distillery, I'm
the
understanding.
distillery in Princeton. Technically, it would be whoever's hooked onto those lines, like we're Connexus where we are.
Brad thought that that was actually just a off-the-grid separate, going right to, straight to the to the distillery complex.
Because that was supposed to be for all of the companies.
He could be misinformed. He was a used car
I would
salesman.
suggest,
Yeah.
so I would suggest, my fear of, I don't disagree, we need to keep our eyes open here on the ground. I wouldn't know what to suggest. Other than to make them aware that this is going on.
That's what I was suggesting, to make them aware.
Can we contact Connexus and ask them if there's any popping up, and maybe they,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
maybe they can give us an inside track on what they're hearing?
Yeah, so the CEO of Connexus has been meeting with county board members about this issue. Oh,
Well, then let's have Joan contact Connexus. Whatever's going on is gonna have to be public information.
And it's in the city, so.
But we would like a direct line with them so we hear the stuff from them early and stay informed.
So I'll help you build a letter. Cool.
Yep.
Anything else? Any other business?
I have one thing, the GIS map software, so we did get pricing from Sam, and I kind of sent that off. I'd like Mr. Lick to kind of discuss that too, because we did get pricing, for Sam to update our cemetery map or for us to do it. Scott requested at the meeting to kind of look at the software, to use it for other needs of our city. And so I'm gonna have Dan discuss that a little bit.
Thank you, Mayor. So at your last meeting, you did discuss this, and Councilmember Rush can certainly speak to this, but my opinion would be that GIS software is pretty specialized, and being able to use it to its full potential requires daily use of it. It's not something you can just pick up and use like Microsoft Word. Most cities deal with GIS through their engineers. Hawkinson Anderson has people that are excellent at doing that type of work. Example would be the maps that the planning commission looked at for the storage container. When I worked at a previous firm that was smaller in size with 12 people, it would always be, we were trying to get into GIS because you'd hear what great things it could do. So we'd either get somebody that wanted to do just GIS and no planning, or they wanted to do no GIS, but knew how to, but just wanted to do planning. So it was always hard to find someone with the capability to do it. Second part of it is, unless you really know what you're doing, it's gonna take a long time to get it to do what you want, The common response was always, can you make this map? Yes, I can, but it's gonna take time. And So I don't know that that's something you would want to just try and assign to the clerk and deputy clerk rather than just outsource it to your engineering consultant. They have the software, they update the software, they have people that are specialized in it, so that you're not incurring those ongoing costs for that.
Sounds good, that's all I wanted to know.
So with that being said, should I put on the next agenda for discuss, approve, disapprove for Hawkinson to update the cemetery map? I don't think a decision was made on that yet. Oh, I'd have to look back. I think.
I thought it was two, but.
Yeah,
Minutes
I'll look
right in
back.
here.
I'll look back.
I believe it was confirmed that they should update it, and then it was going to be looking at getting the software for staff to do the updates. I mean, the most
thought they were-
efficient way for them to do it would be
We tabled it.
the end of every quarter, end of every year, twice a year,
Till
something
March
like that,
18th.
just do them all at
Yep.
once.
Okay, that'll be on the next agenda.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
right. It is tabled till March 18th. But now that we've had that discussion and got Dan's input on it, it sounds like we know that we just want to pay the pros.
To me, that would be as.
Yeah, it's, I used to major in that many moons ago.
You didn't major in finance? Oh, I thought you were in finance.
Geography.
AutoCAD?
He's a geography major.
GIS. So
No, you were geography.
Guy in
You
geo-
took some GIS classes, right?
My emphasis was GIS.
No, emphasis. What's your
Basic-
bachelor's say on it?
So basically, it's
you're the
very,
numbers guy.
it's very cumbersome
The map guy.
software, and they keep updating it as well.
So that's why you should be the cemetery
tourism
sexton.
classes.
You're a map guy. You understand this stuff.
All righty, gentlemen, is there any other business? All right, that'll conclude the business tonight, other than a motion to approve bills for payment.
Bring him over here. Well, he's reading his phone, come on.
What do they want to meet with us about?
Questions in my home.
Oh, yeah. No, I've been trying to work on, to hold him to have a question.
I mean, would that be?
Whoa, wait, what? Really?
That's what. Last one, so just north of
Huh?
two grades there now, and I'm just like, that's fine. Last one, taking that one.
That's actually not a bad.
Yeah, especially in light of,
Yeah.
some of our Somali folks that their method is put them in a bag, put them in a cardboard box, bury
Elaborate
them
any on
seamed
that,
in.
Mr.
And then they stay on, they don't, they stay on social services, even though they're 6 feet under.
Regardless, I mean, it'd be good for us to control that anyway.
But they have a new flag that we didn't adopt. That's why I made my comment earlier about the vaults. That eliminates that from the current cemetery, but. That was, I'm just speaking to prior discussion from meetings many moons ago, like 2010, when we changed the rates.
Oh, yeah.
Drove by while you guys were putting that up. It was quite a garbage pile. It's amazing how perfectly cleaned up the parking lot was after all of that as well.
Yeah, they did a nice job. It was the lithium batteries, I think, that got thrown in the garbage that started all the cardboard on fire.
How do you put a lithium battery out?
Just keep dumping water. It'll spring stuff, but
What temperature does that burn at?
you got me on that one. I haven't studied it.
I haven't either, I'm just not being.
It's pretty high. It's pretty high. That's when they explode on people too, you know. No bills from Baldwin. Don't charge for response.
Don't say it.
Huh?
That's interesting.
Currently, that is not part of our, fees. Not to say that won't happen in the future, but it is not currently. there.
Scott, you keep getting shorter every time.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Well, grow along your arms. Sorry.
I got a pretty good wingspan for my height.
A dinosaur arm?
I got told that at a physical one time, so I thought that was pretty funny. Like, really? Is that supposed to be a compliment? Short guy?
You? There's a lot of cities and departments that are going to fee for service a lot now. We are not at that point.
Princeton does.
Yep, Princeton does it for pretty much, yeah, everything.
They charge us for water we brought to their fire.
Ah.
They do.
Yep.
If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't have gone through that much water, right?
That infrastructure? Well, the PUC is definitely in better shape than the city is. The city ain't got
They charge
two nickels to rub
pretty good
together.
rates in Princeton for electrical service. So,
All right, I need a motion for bills for payment.
much.
I make a motion for,
Yeah, she's got to tell us what it is.
Check number 29325 to 29355 for $32,108.11. 4 EFT payments for $5,207.33. For a total of $37,315.44.
That your motion, Al?
yep, I make a
Sweet, is there a
motion.
second?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Motion adjourned.
Who adjourns, is there a
Second.
second? Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We're adjourned at 9:04.
There's cake back there if anybody wants it.
Elevator music.